Such an example to consistency and dependency. Doesn't matter if she's being supported strongly, weak, she's going for it. And that's the strongest thing that you know about someone's gut, is when they decide they're going to do something, you can put your trust in them because you know they're not going anywhere, and that's Chelsea. So let's bring her out.
She stands through challenges with stamina and superhuman consistency, helps others soar to new heights of achievement, and is dependably the most inspirational and giving star you can follow. 7-star diamond with 16 lifetime diamonds, 22 months of Success Club, and has a combined social media following over 50,000. Chelsea Pearson!
Oh man, we do it for the avatar, right? All right, so guys, who is super excited and feeling the urgency to get on Periscope, but still has no idea what to post about? Can I see a show of hands? I'm with you. And let me tell you something. I've learned this the hard way. When Shalene tells you to do something, do it. Because I have made that mistake, and I built most of my business through Instagram. Do you guys typically build your customer and your coach list through social media? Can I see a show of hands? Yeah. So I want to kind of confess something to you guys. I started on social media and really developed a skill set with that because I was fearful. I was terrified to talk to my friends and my family in real life about this opportunity. But I knew if I could be authentic, and I could just say, well, this is what I think about Turbo Fire. This is what I think about Shakeology. This is what I think about how I'm feeling. You know what I'm talking about when you all of a sudden find hundreds of thousands of other people who get how you think. I knew that I didn't have to be an expert. Now, I was really excited when Christine asked me to talk about this topic because I wanted to share with you guys how to create everyday content. I'm not a fitness expert. I thought I was supposed to be. Did you guys work out this weekend? Either Size, Insanity, or Hyo, or Turbo? There's more workouts. It's awesome, right? Killer. And I don't know about you, but when I'm around people who are that talented at leading fitness, I mean, this is a health and fitness company, and I witness their magic, and the adrenaline is pumping, I want to do what they do. I want to make other people, and I'm sure you feel the exact same way. That's why you're a coach. You want to make people feel the way that Shalene makes you feel, how Sean makes you feel, how Angie, how Christine, how Danielle, how Tanya, all of the amazing master trainers make you feel like you can be more and do more. And for so long, I thought that meant I had to be a fitness instructor. So who in here would consider themselves to not be a fitness expert or not actively teaching fitness classes? That's a huge majority. And the way that this network is growing that I've seen in the last 4 years is that there are everyday people that are building businesses and have such amazing opportunities to create that same magic that fitness instructors make you feel, but you can do it by talking about what you go through and being a superhero in your everyday life. So, I am a note taker. I like to take pictures. I like to make sure that I don't miss anything. But all of the slides, all of the materials, and a few extra bonuses are included. This is actually a Google Drive link. So what I want you guys to focus on today is thinking about, first of all, I think, who's taking an actual week off of social media for the next week? Anybody? I like it. When Shalene tells you to do something, you should do it. And I'm still like, I don't know if I can do that. My affinity. But what I want you guys to do is focus on the things that get your heart racing, or if you feel your head nodding, that's what I want you to write down. All of these slides will be available to you. So, what is your short-term goal? What is it that you want to achieve? Christine just presented an amazing amount of knowledge about rank versus volume. So if you have a challenge group that's starting on Monday, are you going to post about your next challenge group on Monday when your challenge group is starting and you're not ready to take on new challengers? That would be a perfect opportunity for you to talk maybe about your coach preview that's coming up, or take that time and share just about personal growth. Share your personality. Let people know who you really are. Post things that are just value for free, that are funny, that don't feel salesy. And I feel like so many coaches are so afraid to do that call to action post. But when you have a challenge group that's already on its way, that's the perfect opportunity for you to post content. So I know this is super, super simple, but so very often I feel like, especially your new coaches, if this is something that you've mastered, they feel like they think that they see a Janelle Summers or a Christine Dwyer or a Tara Carr, and they think, well, they're just doing all of this all at once. But what they're really doing is they're figuring out what their lane is, and they're staying in that lane until they have to switch lanes. So if you've already hit Success Club, or you already have met your benchmark, that's when you would shift the intention of your content. So this is super, super, super basic, but I'm just gonna admit this, and I know I'm not alone. I don't do the 3 vital behaviors every single day. I don't. There are days that I drop the ball. Sometimes there are weeks. And I know I'm not alone. I know if you've been there, you're like, my business isn't working, but I haven't read a personal development book in a week. And I just want to reiterate that. But from a content perspective, in this world, you're either growing or you're dying. So the best way to start getting new content for your business and teaching your coaches to do the same thing is to start moving. When you invite people, you're meeting new people, having new conversations, new relationships are starting. That's all content. Those are things happening in your life that you're going to be able to post an overflow of what's really going on. The same thing with being proof the products work. I'm here to tell you, I'm not always proof the products work. I make my living as a Beachbody coach, and there are days I forget to drink Shakeology. And I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but I'm human. And it's okay to mess up as long as you course correct. But when you're working out, you're getting new levels of strength. You are getting new results. It's so important to try the newest product. New areas of improvement, whether it's your push-up, or it's your squat, or it's your max out time. That's content that you can talk about and your new coaches can talk about. New testimonies. We think oftentimes, I remember I have an amazing challenger, and she lost 70 pounds with a 21-day fix in, I think, 4 or 5 months. And I thought, man, this is going to get my business going. Obviously, I love her, I care about her, and I'm so excited for her, but I almost held her testimony in higher regard than my own. And we have to be our best challenger. But then also growing yourself, new breakthroughs, new doors unlocked. So the 3 vital behaviors, if you're not doing them, this is where the authentic content comes from. This is the real stuff, the connective tissue, the daily things that you can talk about. So here's the questions to ask yourself, and they apply to each category, which is really, really helpful. They're things that now, 3 or 4 years into this business, I'm just intrinsically thinking about. And during the 90-minute turbo workout, oh my gosh, I got to that place of euphoria. You know what I'm talking about when you're working out? And you're just like, I love life, and I want everyone to feel this way, and my morning is gonna be so awesome, and I don't wanna even eat crap because I just worked so hard. That is where your authentic content comes from. So what I would encourage you guys to do is stop thinking about your social media like a reality show. Start thinking about it like it's your diary, your journal. Nobody waits for permission to write a diary entry. No, you don't need an audience. You don't normally want an audience in your diary. You lock it up. But this has kind of been my secret to success, is every single day I make sure that I'm doing the 3 vital behaviors. I know it's like crazy to hear. And then I ask myself, what's my biggest excuse? I call myself out. I am my own best coach. I know that a lot of us, we don't have uplines that are present in our business, and that was something that I had to deal with for a little bit. And so I was my own upline, and I asked myself these questions. What's my plan? And in doing that, I just shared me, and people could see themselves in that. You guys don't realize the magic you have in saying, oh my gosh, I don't know, these containers look really, really small, and I love sweet potato fries. How am I going to be able to stick to this? That is like the most human thing in the entire world. And that is where your magic is. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to record videos of yourself doing a perfect plank. I have wasted so much time. And every time I try to record fitness videos, it's never as good as Danielle. It's never as good as Christine. It's never as good as Janelle. And that's because I'm not them. And that's where they are awesome. So, a lot of times people ask me what makes a good caption on Facebook. So what I wanted to do is share with you 5 different tips that I use, and this can also apply to blog posts, Instagram captions, and there are so many amazing speakers this weekend that totally reiterated this point. So I like to post short and sweet one-liners, and I'm going to show you where you can find them. So I got like 700 likes on diamonds were a girl's best friend, and then yoga pants happened. That was like, it blew up, and I didn't make that up. I saw it on a t-shirt. And so if you can keep things short and sweet and catch somebody's attention, either on Instagram or on Facebook, and then share your message, they're going to be that much more, even if they don't read the post, they're going to like it, and that's going to bump it up in your newsfeed. Darren totally proved my point with negative wording. So here's an example. I never thought I would feel comfortable in my own skin. I never. That's a word that, I was on the edge of my seat, and Darren was sharing something that is going to change our lives, thousands of lives, but he got our attention using negative wording. So in your first line or your caption, by using things like never, or biggest mistake, or error, and I actually have in that bit.ly Google Drive link that I shared, some power words that you can use as examples that are both negative and positive, but catches people's attention. Talk in numbers. I know when James was talking about YouTube, he said the 7 steps, and we were like, oh, that's awesome. And that's because it's efficient. And people want to have simple steps that they can follow. And so if you can say, these are my top 3 tips for staying focused and not pressing pause during my workout, people are gonna grab onto that. Using other emotional power words, like I was destroying my body until I discovered a secret. Shakeology. Well, destroying your body, I know it sounds a little bit like an over-exaggeration, but it really catches attention. And then asking a question. Have you ever felt like you have no control over your life? That's immediately not about me. That's about my audience. And if you use a question as your first line in your caption, immediately it relates to your prospective coach, your prospective customer, and now they're seeing, okay, this serves me as well in some way. So this is my smartphone toolbox. And I love what Shalene said. I took her advice about getting as much storage as possible. But I also love what she said about cleaning up your phone. Because I had so many apps, and these are the ones that really help me on the fly. I know that we all have lots of responsibilities in our life. Burst mode is awesome. You set it up on a tripod. Who uses burst mode? Killer. You set it up, you set an increment of how often it takes a photo and how many you want, and then all of a sudden you have a personal photographer, which we don't all have the luxury of. I sure don't. PicTapGo is my favorite all-in-one filter app, and that creates really colorful, you can customize so many different recipes, and actually saves the recipes, so once you find a look that you like, you can go to it. Fly is an amazing video editing app. It is better than iMovie. My greatest edits, I can literally edit with a touch of a finger, and I have no skills at all in that area. So if you have no skills in that area, you're gonna love Fly. WordSwag is super, super quick for creating beautiful fonts, Facetune, whitens your teeth a little bit, maybe gets that pimple off your face, just touches it up and makes it look really great. Just make sure you don't make yourself look like a cartoon, because I've done that before and it's really embarrassing. Carousel is a great, it's actually linked with Dropbox, and it saves your photos, so your iPhone doesn't go crazy, full of space. Pinterest for ideas, and then Google Drive. So where to find ideas? I know that, I love what James was talking about with that whole trending keyword tool, and what I love about BuzzFeed is that they capture what's the buzz on the internet for me. And they're funny about it. They're probably funnier than I would be, and they have their finger on the pulse of what is going viral. So if you are short on ideas for free groups, for what you're posting about, this is what people want. So my first tip, reference, don't share the link. Just like, let me just tell you, when Shalene does a presentation on social media before you, and you have the same bullet point on your presentation, I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Because sharing the link on Facebook is something that I figured wasn't very good based on my own experience, but she proved that Facebook doesn't like when you take people off of Facebook. So reference what you learned, but don't link BuzzFeed. Give your opinion on different topics. Poll your audience. I also curate content for free groups. So 27 mouth-watering foods you never knew you could make in a slow cooker. Make a crock pot group. 21 things military spouses wish everyone knew. Is that true? Are you a military spouse? Do you agree with this? Do you have other military spouses that may want to comment on that? These are the things that I use for my free groups. 15 words added to the dictionary today. Ask people, did you know this? I use this word all the time. And then I also say really funny one-liners for photo captions, for short, sweet posts at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, which is prime time. It's like almost like a tweetable 140 character post. That always goes viral for me. And it's really, really helpful. So where to find other ideas is Pinterest. And this is kind of like, man, Pinterest is like fantasy football for women. I like that when somebody was talking about what do you do for fun, I like to like light a candle, pour a glass of wine, and go on Pinterest. So what I started doing was creating secret boards. You can actually create boards on Pinterest that no one but you sees. And I have a few different categories. So the first is photos that I love. So I don't just come up with ideas on how to stretch and how to look, just pensive, looking off into the distance on the beach. I pin other people who are great at that, and then whenever I'm ready to take photos, I go back to that board and I just model it. And it's not going to be perfect and identical, but it's going to be you. I pin stuff that I use for my challenge group, and that's where I get challenge group content, and then free clean eating content, nutrition, workout tips, recovery tips, foam rolling, all that stuff you can get from Pinterest and curate it. Pins to models. So this picture of Don't Stop, the before and after, that's gone viral, and it's so clear and it's so beautiful. You better believe when I have my next awesome customer transformation, I'm going to make one just like that. The same for recipes, blog post content, and this has been such a game changer for me because I know what my eye is drawn to, so I pin it, and then I can reproduce it, and nobody can see it but me, so it's kind of like my own secret sauce. So, let's just say it's a Tuesday, you don't know what you're going to post about. These are a few different topics that I use. Relive the month can be any day, it just means a moment in time that you want to bring back. If you have professional photos taken, I would use, your wedding, your child's birth, a family photo, use that. Transformation Tuesday, moment in time Monday, throwback Thursday. What I'm doing now is great to use for your team. You can kind of tag each other and say, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? And it could be rearranging your throw pillows, it could be wrangling your children, it could be a number of different things, but it's a unique way to get content in right now. And people are super voyeuristic. They want to know what's going on. So when in doubt, challenge yourself. For those of you that need structure, I would highly recommend that you go to Pinterest and you type in photo a day challenge. And it literally provides you a photo idea for the day of the month. And it could be your favorite book, your favorite pair of shoes. But this is a great resource for new coaches. It's a great resource for you if you need structure. And it's also a great resource to create, your own version of this for your team and your Coach Basics group and your new trainings so that people are confident about just posting. Because very often our coaches come in and they say, well, I'm scared to post about the business, but they don't even post about real life. So this kind of gets things moving. And then what I really want to touch on is something that has totally changed my life. I was really excited when James had mentioned, listen, Facebook and Instagram go away. They just completely go away. YouTube is forever. But what I do is I actually save awesome captions, awesome photos. Every time I post something on social media, I've created a folder in my Google Drive for quotes, funny stories, testimonies, lessons learned. And what happens is when I get an awesome message from a customer, when I'm at Starbucks in line and I think about a funny story that would showcase my personality, I save that on my phone into my Google Drive. So at 9 o'clock at night when I have nothing to post about, that's where I draw from. And I recycle it, because not everybody sees my stuff. So this has been super helpful in turning Facebook and Instagram into a constantly living and breathing thing, because not everybody's seeing your stuff. This is something that you can implement now, and you can share with your new coaches, and then you can set goals to create a YouTube channel, create a system with your own team of assistants to take a Periscope and strip it away. That's something that you can do. And isn't it amazing to have such incredible trainers come up here and tell us what they do? Oh my gosh. The first time that I really experienced an expert breaking it down, I was like, I can do that, I just may not be able to do that right now. So this has been a system that's been really, really helpful for me. What I want to encourage you guys with, I know it sounds super simple, but you don't realize how close you are to your magic. There's so much inside of you that only you have gone through. And there are people out there, they may not be like me, they may not be like Christine, they may not be like any of the coaches on your team, and they don't relate to this. And they want to hear what you think about insanity as a plus-sized woman, as somebody with serious, serious knee injuries, with somebody that has never stuck to anything in their entire life, to somebody that, there's so many unique perspectives that if you treat your social media like a diary, if you do it like you don't care who's watching and this is something that you do for you, and it becomes an intrinsic way for you, at the very, very least, to be able to document and capture the amazing stuff that's happening in our lives right now. I mean, think about it. This weekend, it's my 3rd Platinum Edge, and it feels like the 1st. There's so much that we should be grateful for. And being up here, all of these things that I've learned, I'm just standing on the shoulders of every single person that has ever been on a Platinum Presenter's call or has stood on the stage. You guys, this is all teachable, it's all learnable, and you're valuable. And the number one thing that I want to encourage you with is something that I learned later in the game. I started off with this scarcity mentality with my small number of followers and my small number of Facebook friends, but there are people out there who need you, and there is so much room on this stage. There is so much room at the top. But what it takes is you stepping out and saying, you know what? I'm going to share what I think about this business, even when I suck. I'm going to share about my workout, even though I stopped 10 minutes in because I hated the way I felt, with my stomach moving around. Those are the kinds of things that establish trust. Those are the kinds of things that you don't think matter, but they give people permission to start their journeys because you get them. And I know it seems simple, and I know that maybe you've heard this before, but maybe it's time to start doing it. And not just accepting it, and not just nodding your head about it. Not reading a personal development book about how valuable you are, how you are a badass. Yeah? Why don't you start being a badass? Why don't you start sharing that every single day? Because these moments that we have, social media is a way for us to document our lives. We're super stressed, but we're also super blessed by it. And so if you can take the posture of, I don't care what comes from this, I don't care who likes it, I don't care who comments, I don't care who shares, I don't care who follows me, I'm just gonna do me and put it out there because people need it. You are going to have people flooding to you because the world needs that. So thank you guys so much for your time.